He's got that vulnerability about him and he can be knocked out.
Because I said, this man's like a chameleon, changes colors to fit in within, infiltrate his environment. He knows that will sustain. All that acting games and that, he uses it as a smoke screen to cover what's actually really going on. I'm not going to elaborate anymore.
I said it before the fight, even today, before today, that Daniel Dubois would never pass 5 rounds if he kept boxing like the same way he boxed last time he fought Usyk. But he did the same. There was no jab, nothing changed. He deserved the knockout.
Daniel Dubois isn't just bruised, he's damaged. From the opening bell, Barry McGuigan set the tone. Dubois wasn't in a fight, he was in a dismantling. There was barely a flicker of credit thrown his way. Usyk didn't just outbox him, he broke him down completely, exposing a man once hyped as a serious threat. The finish.
Dubois maybe a share of 1 or possibly 1 round. But then, he was battered in those 5 rounds and it was only a matter of time. And it was great the way he could take him out so clinically. It was, to show that he can punch and take guys out, big, strong, powerful guys like.
Finish wasn't just clinical, it was symbolic. It exposed every weakness Dubois has, proving that raw power means nothing when your mindset cracks under pressure. But Barry wasn't done. His next words hit even harder than Usyk's punches. Dubois has been exposed and vulnerability in the heavyweight division is a death sentence. Once fighters smell weakness,
Dubois can come back, but he's damaged now, and people will know that he's got that vulnerability about him and he can be knocked out.
They chase it like blood in the water. Usyk didn't just win a bout, he shattered Dubois' psychological armor. From now on, every shot Dubois takes carries a different weight. Every opponent knows he can be broken. The illusion is gone, and the praise for Usyk didn't.
Super happy for Usyk, inspiring, silenced a lot of people, and he showed that he's one of the top 3 all time.
Stop with McGuigan. Even celebrity voices chimed in. Jake Paul, yes, even him, admitted it. Usyk delivered something special. While Dubois looked lost and overwhelmed, Usyk ascended. This wasn't just a dominant win, it was a statement of legacy. Dubois
hit Daniel on the chin, and then that's when Daniel just quit. He could not gather himself. He didn't throw the double jab. He didn't actually say no one.
He didn't step into it.
He didn't bite his gumshoe and say, no, I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah. When you say the first 2 shots in the fight, they went to the chin, then he quit, what do you mean by that?
I mean, like, he just folded, he just quit. I mean, like, in a way, not quit like walking out the ring. Quit off like, you know what?
Collapse amplified Usyk's greatness. One rose to mythical status, the other plummeted into doubt. I'm just super happy for Usyk, said one onlooker. He silenced so many doubters and proved he's one of the top 3 heavyweights of all time. That sentiment is echoed everywhere now, not just in fight circles, but across the broader sporting world. But if you thought that was harsh, wait for Derek Chisora's version.
And then that's when Daniel just quit. He could not gather himself. He didn't throw the double jab. He didn't actually say no one.
He didn't step into it.
He didn't bite his gumshoe and say, no, I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah. When you say the first 2 shots in the fight, they went to the chin, then he quit, what do you mean by that?
I mean, like, he just folded, he just quit. I mean, like, in a way, not quit.
Verdict. Chisora didn't critique Dubois' technique. He questioned his soul. He said Dubois mentally checked out. And for a warrior like Chisora, who's fought with fractures and war wounds, quitting is the ultimate disgrace. In Chisora's eyes, Dubois isn't just criticized. He's been rejected by the warriors who define this brutal sport. Now Dubois speaks out.
Broke him down, right? Broke him down, he was patient. Then Dubois did, for me, looked better. Like landed some good shots in the beginning, it was going back and forth. Then he got Usyk's attention, but he was patient. Feints, movement, footwork.
Calling it a learning experience. But does anyone believe it? The public isn't looking for comfort. They want truth. They want fire. Saying he'll come back stronger rings hollow when the image of him backing away is still fresh. At this level, it's not about promises. It's about proving that warrior still exists inside you. Joseph Parker, meanwhile, saw it coming. This wasn't a flash KO or a luck.
He boxed great. He did the right things. He was counter-punching, and he was moving well, and he wasn't getting caught. And he started off with a jab, so...
He shot. Usyk broke Dubois down with patience and precision. A slow, methodical dismantling. Parker praised Usyk's fight IQ. The one thing Dubois clearly lacked, against cerebral tacticians like Usyk, brute force alone gets you nowhere, and that's where Dubois failed most. If Parker's assessment cut deep, Lennox Lewis took it further. The Hall of Famer was in awe. Footwork, jab, counter-punching. Usyk ticked every box. He didn't just win, he educated. Lewis's praise sealed it. Dubois was never ready, not physically, not mentally. Then came Conor Benn, comparing Usyk to Muhammad Ali, not hype. Respect earned. Usyk didn't just box, he paid
currently, and I don't see anybody beating him. Is he as good as Muhammad Ali? It's not a crazy thing to say, I don't think, at this point. The thing is, you can't really do the comparisons, do you know what I mean? But I do think he's one of the best currently now to do it.
Who do you want to see Usyk fight next, or just sail off?
He can sail off into the sunset, and he's done everything. Do you know what I mean? He's phenomenal fighter, man. You're watching
it a masterpiece. While Dubois threw blind punches like a deer caught in headlights, Usyk turned the ring into his canvas. Movement, control, feints, it was art. And Dubois, he looked like a shattered prospect, not a future champion. This performance didn't just elevate Usyk, it forced fans to ask if we're witnessing greatness at the Ali level. The gap between them wasn't just wide, it was historic. Dubois wasn't just outboxed, he was used as the measuring stick for Usyk's brilliance, and fell laughably short. Even Martin Bakole had warned us. He predicted it. This wasn't hindsight, it was foresight. Bakole saw the flaws. No jab, no adjustments, no hunger to evolve. Against a machine like Usyk, that's career suicide. And when Bakole laughed after the loss
before today, that Daniel Dubois never passed 5 rounds if he kept boxing like the same way he boxed last time he fought Usyk. But he did the same. There was no jab, nothing changed. He deserved the knockout because he never changed something like
saying he deserved it. It wasn't just mockery, it was confirmation. Dubois didn't just lose, he proved he hasn't learned. And Bakole's message was simple. If you show up with the same tired game plan, you'll leave broken. Again and again. And right now, Dubois looks like a man stuck in a cycle of self-inflicted pain. Even in defeat, Dubois tried to maintain grace. He praised Usyk. He vowed to return, but the emptiness in his words was hard to ignore. It didn't sound like defiance. It sounded like a man trying to convince himself that he still belonged. Saying, "I gave it everything," only invites deeper scrutiny, because if that was truly his best, it's nowhere near what's required at world level. Respecting Usyk doesn't erase the reality. Dubois had no answers, no jab, no ring IQ, no spark. The fans didn't just see a loss. They saw a man outclassed in every department. The future for Usyk, bright, maybe even legendary. The future for Dubois, uncertain at best, broken at worst. Daniel Dubois spoke about coming back stronger, but we've heard that before. The world isn't buying promises anymore. They want proof, results, fire, and grit. And that's exactly what's in doubt now. Even David Adelaide tried offering some balance, a bit of sympathy, but the praise still leaned one way. Sure, Adelaide acknowledged that Dubois gets unfair criticism, at times, but nights like this, they justify the doubts. Getting in the ring earns respect, yes, but staying in the fight when it gets brutal, that's where Dubois continues to fall short. Adelaide gave him credit for signing the contract. That takes guts.
I think Usyk keeps proving himself. He gets doubted a lot, and I think he's proven himself so many times that it's kind of crazy that people doubt him, but you got to give credit to Daniel for getting in there. He tried the thing, and more credit to Usyk for pulling it off time and time.
But guts on paper don't count in the ring. When the pressure mounts, you either rise or fold. And Dubois is folding far too often for the public to keep believing in comeback stories. The talk doesn't hit the same when the performances don't back it up. If there's one voice that captured Dubois' unraveling with brutal clarity, it was Johnny Nelson. He didn't offer analysis. He delivered a post-mortem. Usyk didn't just win. He stripped Dubois down to the raw truth. His jab, gone. His power, neutralized. His footwork, useless. Confidence, obliterated. By round 5, Dubois looked like a man lost in a storm. No plan, no umbrella. He wasn't knocked down by a punch. He was knocked down by realization, the moment he understood he didn't belong at that level. That kind of psychological blow doesn't fade. It lingers, and it scars. Nelson pointed out the deepest cut. Usyk
attributes. He took away his jab, took away his power, took away his movement, took away his confidence, to the point where Daniel was putting his backside on the floor thinking, wow, you know, we're only in round 5 here, and I'm getting chopped up.
didn't just beat Dubois. He flipped all his strengths into liabilities. He exposed everything. And while Dubois sat broken, Usyk stood composed. Nelson's admiration for Usyk's calm, his class, his control, it only highlighted the gap between the two. One man looked like a world champion. The other looked like he was still trying to remember how to survive. Trainer Joe Gallagher tried to explain Dubois getting caught, said it was unfortunate. But let's not sugarcoat it. Dubois wasn't unlucky. He was hunted, trapped by a smarter, faster, more disciplined fighter. He wasn't outpaced by chance. He was outclassed by design. Even when Dubois pushed Usyk to the ropes, it wasn't a breakthrough. It was bait. Usyk's check hook, his follow-up left. They weren't reactions. They were setups, orchestrated, calculated. Dubois walked straight into them with no guard, no plan, no awareness. That's not bad luck. That's a lack of fundamentals. Gallagher calling it unfortunate only softens what the world saw. A fighter exposed. Dubois
high up on the head, and then obviously in the two phases of attack, Usyk did in them with the left hook round the side of the right hand.
Didn't just get clipped. He got caught because his ring IQ wasn't there. His chin was up, his eyes were wide, and he had no anticipation of what was coming. This wasn't a freak moment. It was the result of every missing piece in Dubois' game: composure, timing, awareness. Gallagher's attempt to soften the blow only highlights how fragile Dubois looks now, mentally and tactically. The blueprint is out. There's no hiding anymore. He's been figured out. And as Dubois stumbles for answers, Joe Gallagher turned the conversation back to the man of the moment, Oleksandr Usyk. And rightly so. Usyk has nothing left to prove. He cleaned out cruiserweight. He's tamed the heavyweight names. He's unified, dominated, and stood tall in every test. Now he's at the rare stage where only the new blood poses a threat, fighters trying to catch him slipping. Dubois was supposed to be one of them, a next-gen monster. Instead, he became just another lesson, another name on the list of men schooled and sent home battered, physically and emotionally. Gallagher speaks about the young gun.
To prove what is, he's in a situation like all good fighters when the start comes to the end of the career. You've got the next gen coming through. You've got your opportunities that want to move up and fight him. You've got
guns rising. But if Dubois is the blueprint, Usyk's reign is far from over. The gap isn't just wide, it's a canyon. And right now, no one's even close to crossing it. The divide between old-school elite and modern-day hype has never looked wider. Oleksandr Usyk's name now sits among the greats, not just because he conquered divisions, but because he's dominated across generations. He's earned the right to slow down. The only real question left is who's even worthy of standing across from him. One thing's certain, it's not someone like Daniel Dubois, who was handed a golden opportunity and wilted the moment pressure arrived. The gap between them, it's legacy versus learning curve. Carl Froch didn't focus on tactics. He questioned Dubois' mindset. A pre-fight gathering, socializing before facing a pound-for-pound legend like Usyk, that's not preparation. That's psychological sabotage. Froch made it clear. Instead of locking in mentally, Dubois was playing host, making small talk, diluting focus.
He's had these gatherings before big fights, did it before AJ, and he got the job done against AJ. But I can't think of anything worse as a fighter, having people around the house that you don't know, and you're having to talk to them.
Pretending it was just another night. That's not championship behavior. That's delusion. Froch knows what true battle mode looks like. He lived it. And what he saw in Dubois was a fighter mentally unfocused and physically underprepared. Maybe it was nerves. Maybe it was ego. Whatever it was, it cost him everything. Against a technician like Usyk, there's no margin for mental error. Froch didn't have to say much. His tone said everything. Fighters notice details. And this one fits the growing narrative. Dubois isn't just physically vulnerable. He's mentally distracted, emotionally fragile, and simply not ready for the elite level. Because if you're partying before war, don't be shocked when you're the one lying in ruins. Dubois entered the ring dreaming of glory. He walked out with a shattered reputation and a career now teetering on a cliff's edge. This wasn't just a loss. It was a